Happy Monday! Please do let me know by smashing the love heart, smashing the thumbs up, and let me know in the comments that you can hear me okay. I know it takes a little bit of time. YouTube has actually just told me that I'm going live on YouTube, which is always a very, very nice message to receive when I know that it's going on. Ladies and gents, how are we? I hope you are well, wherever you are around the world. Let's start by letting me know in the chat box where you are. Let's get some conversations going, because there is nothing more than I like on a Monday than having a bloody good chat with you lot. So I've been told it's bloody freezing in the UK. Is it true? Is that true that it's all of a sudden dropped massively? I saw a friend yesterday, he'd been pumpkin picking with his daughter, and he was like in this thick puffer jacket with gloves on. And I messaged him and I was like, is it really that cold? And he's not one for being a drama queen and saying that it's cold. And I was like, are you sure about that? So about that soul school, I might be just, postponing that and leaving it to my team. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, ladies and gents. Well, where I am at the moment, it is still beautifully warm. So I'm going to send some sunshine in your direction in the hope that you get a little bit of heat coming from my heart, if not from anything else. So it's absolutely amazing to have so many of you on so quickly. I am super, super pumped today. I'm literally on such a mission at the moment. I actually did a session with my one of my beautiful clients this morning, and I was like, sat there like this for a while, and then all of a sudden I was like, am I really brown or are you really white? And she said to me, I do not want to be around you at all. Bless her heart. So it was this morning. I don't know what you mean. It was cold this morning, I assume. Well, he was pumpkin picking yesterday, so I'm going to assume it was cold in the UK yesterday as well. But I am really feeling that there is a little bit of a cold snap coming in. I'm no weather woman, but I feel like there's a bit of a cold snap coming in over England, because my mum was telling me that just last weekend it was like 25 degrees. And now all of a sudden it's like having a cold snap. Hello, Finland. I hope you're well. I hope we're going to be seeing you in a few weeks' time. It was 4 weeks yesterday, actually. Ladies and gents, 4 weeks yesterday, I am going to be landing in the UK. So if we could just crank the temperature up a little bit so that I can not go from beautiful heat into frostbite weather. And Lizzie, I might have to take you up on that offer, mate. I might have to get you to buy me some thermals, because I'm not sure I'm going to cope from going from like 30 degrees down to whatever it will be by the time I get back in just under 4 weeks. But you know what, ladies and gents? I have got absolutely nothing to complain about. I live the best life. Genuinely, I get called to the most amazing places. And I'm going to let you into a little secret. Yes, Martin, I will be. I'll be like straight on the plane out of there. I won't need to go to Luton. I can go straight to Birmingham Airport, like in a taxi, get me out of here. I actually can't, because I'm doing work. I'm going to be doing a bit of work after that as well in the UK. But I've actually, well, I think I have decided. I haven't run it past my my assistant yet. But I think, hold your breath, ladies and gents, I think I'm going to take a holiday over Christmas. A holiday? An actual holiday? Yes, ladies and gents, I am truly feeling that I am going to take a holiday over Christmas this year. I spoke to somebody about it this morning. Hey, Jay, I hope you're well, my friend. I spoke to somebody about it this morning, and he kind of looked at me and he was like, really? Because on earlier this week, or earlier last week, should I say, I ended up going on an unexpected calling, and it's the first time I've been away from my laptop in 6 years, ladies and gents. 6 years. 6 years is the only time I have been away from my laptop. And I had, like, it, don't get me wrong, I knew I was only going for a short, sharp trip. Oh, Jay, thank you. I love you. I am glowing right now, mate. You are absolutely right. I am literally sparkling. I was going to say sparkling all over, but I'm not sure that would be the right thing to say. But I am glowing and I'm feeling really good for it. And this is what I mean. I actually think that being away from my laptop for one whole day did me, like, literally it was 24 hours, and I think it did me the world of good. And I actually feel that it is the right time. Of course, I'm not going to go on holiday without my laptop, but I actually do feel it's time for me to invest in me and take 2, maybe 3 weeks off. Oh my God, how are we doing with that? What do you think? Should I take 2 or 3 weeks off? I'll probably still do the cheeky little lives on here, but I reckon, around that time of the year, I can get everything else catered for. So thank you so much, Alison. You're right. I do deserve a holiday, sweetheart. Because you're doing one of my programs, you know exactly what I'm doing and exactly what I'm chipping away at behind the scenes. But yeah, I feel it's time for a holiday, ladies and gents. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I don't remember the last time I actually went on a holiday and it wasn't energy work. And I'm like, I'm really quite excited about this. I've got 2 destinations in my mind. Well, there's multiple, but there's 2 destinations. No, I'm not going to leave you for 3 weeks. I'll still do these lives, but it is what I need. It might just be very early on in the day, or it might be very late at night. Who knows where I'm going to go? But yeah, I'm feeling that I need to take a cheeky little trip, have some downtime for me. I have spoken about Bora Bora, Martin. A couple of people have heard me talk about Bora Bora a few times. So I actually do genuinely think that it is time to do that. Now, Juanita, thank you very much. I feel younger. I actually went out to support a friend who was returning to his boxing on Saturday, and a couple of people actually said to me, have you realized how young you look? And I was like, thank you. I'm going to take that, I'm going to take that completely. I feel amazing, ladies and gents. I feel amazing. And you know what? As much as the last 2 or 3 weeks, when I said that I was disappearing and I was going to go on my fast and I was going to do all this stuff, like, as much as I've still been working, I feel so good for being present and being completely in alignment with me, doing everything that I need to do, and having just so much love for myself. The journey that I've been on this year has been so wild, to say the least. And I actually feel that it will be good for you guys to see that, like I say, everything that I have been doing has been about the energy work. Everything that I've been doing has been about that. I've been sacrificing myself. And I'm not saying that as to be a martyr or, oh, woe me, No, I've had the best time ever. But now I feel as if I just need to get my energy, like I'm doing that, like as if I'm fueling my car. I just feel like I need my energy to be replenished completely. Now, imagine, I took 24 hours off and I came back bouncing off the walls. Imagine what you guys are going to get and what you're going to experience from me actually taking a couple of weeks or 3 weeks off to go into nature, to immerse in the ocean, to be present with myself and my thoughts. Imagine the content that is going to come out of me, ladies and gents. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited about that. I'm super, super, super pumped about that. So I've written a few notes this week. So I just wanted to bring you up to speed with a few things that have been going on this week. So like I say, I ended up on an unexpected calling this week, which was absolutely amazing. It's something that I've been speaking to somebody quite close to me about for a number of weeks. And all of a sudden, boom, it presented itself right in front of him. So I was with him and this happened and he looked at me and he's like, you spoke about this not long ago. And I was like, yeah, I know, this is the way that it works. And it was almost like he needed to see the process that I went through, which was magical. And he was like, well, then you've got to go, like, you've got to do this. And it was so beautiful that, I was getting really, really, really supported by people that don't get what I'm doing and the work that I do. Anyway, it ended up, if you're not on my Instagram or you're not on my Facebook, I ended up riding in the sunset, like horseback riding in the sunset, Oh my God, it was like I had gone to heaven and I had been rewarded for all of the work that I had done. I love horses, for those of you that don't know. I am a massive horse and horse riding fan, and to just be immersed in this glorious sunset and the beautiful colors and the profound scenery and the connection in the sunset whilst I was off on this energy work mission, I was like, oh my God, this is just absolute bliss. I was in heaven completely. And then obviously we had Friday the 13th. And if you haven't watched the video of me from Friday the 13th, please do, once I finished on this video today, please do go and check it out. Profound video, very, very firm messages were coming through. What I was told as I was on the beach that morning is, you've got to give this message, you've got to give this message. And I was like, okay, when I get home, you channel me and I'll do the video. So I did the video, and it was a really, really beautifully connecting conversation, which also linked in loyalty. They kept saying to me, you need to talk about loyalty. You need to talk about loyalty. I was like, okay, like whatever. Like I say, just give me the message and I will share it with everybody that follows me. And then Saturday, like, we've had the most powerful week energetically. I've been resetting some of the energies. I've been activating something pretty special that I will share more of in the next few weeks. I've got quite a lot of energy work over the next few weeks. So once that's done, hopefully I'll be able to share publicly what I did this week. And then obviously we did Friday the 13th. Then we stepped into the new moon and solar eclipse, right, on Saturday. Again, massively powerful, massively passionate energies, and, you know, invoking love energies and all of this amazing feelings and all of this stuff that needs to come to the surface. So again, I've done a video on that. And then, like I say, Saturday evening, I went to support a friend who was making his comeback after 3 years out, which was so much fun. I had such a laugh. I got home really late. You know, it was just wild. I just anticipated going for a little bit, but there was fight after fight after fight. Like, I've never been to a fight show with so many fights on the card. It was just absolutely incredible. So to everybody that was out there fighting, good job. You did absolutely amazing. Now, ladies and gents, I spoke about, I don't know which video it was on, but on one of the videos I spoke about, I've been noticing the analytics on YouTube on my videos. And there's a couple of interesting things that I want to say about this. So first and foremost, I've noticed that on my videos on YouTube, I am getting so many more views, like double the views on the videos that I'm doing on my own. Now, I don't know whether that is coincidence or if that is just what YouTube are doing, because they know that I'm doing these discussions on my own, and maybe it doesn't like the people who I'm interviewing or whatever. I don't know. But I would really like your feedback on this subject, because if you want me to be doing more content like this in person, individually, then I need to know that. But also, if you want me to be doing more interviews with people, then you've also got to let me know that. Now, there is a series that I've been talking about doing for a very long time called Health Matters. And something has been stopping me doing this, not because of me, but something energetically has been saying, hold your horses, hold your horses, hold your horses. Horses are going to focus today. Clearly, they're going to feature quite heavily. And I haven't known what that was about until this week. This week, I got a message from a girlfriend, and she basically told me that YouTube is going to be changing the algorithm on any video that is about alternative health. Any video. So any video whereby I share my healing journey, or any video whereby I talk about maybe something other than medical, they are actually going to be redirecting it to all of my viewers and everything. They're going to be changing the algorithms so that it goes to medical stuff. So I've wondered why that series wasn't making the progress that I wanted it to make. And then boom, all of a sudden it comes in. So I am going to be using my Rumble channel, which is Lucy Davis 2222. I'm exactly the same as it is on YouTube, to be able to do this health series. And it's just not going to feature on YouTube. What I will be doing is I will be sharing a little snippet on here and then directing you to the YouTube, to the Rumble channel, I think, going forwards, because I don't want to lose my YouTube channel, and I don't really want to, I don't want to have to disappear off of YouTube completely, because I think it's a great platform if you learn how to use it. You know, I should say, screw you, I'm going to go somewhere else. But the thing is, there are so many people that naturally default to YouTube. If I do that, then there are a lot of people that aren't going to hear the messages. Okay. So you've got to kind of play the game, unfortunately, with this. So what I feel I'm going to be doing, and let me know in the comments if this makes sense to you. Like, I think I'm just going to have to play the system with this. And I've seen it actually come out. There's been a lot of people that have actually lost their channels, alternative doctors, people who talk about healing, people who, you know, offer alternative methods and things like that. And they are literally being taken down. They've lost their YouTube channels with like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. So as much as I don't like these bastards messing about, like, I just feel we got to play the game here. So I'm not going to be doing the health series on here, but what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing a little snippet off of the video that I'm going to be uploading. And what I'm going to be doing, oh, amazing. Well, any of those petitions I will be signing, because I think we need to have freedom of speech, right? We've got to have all sorts of different things. Like, I work with holistic health, so I'm a massive fan of it. And I do believe that we should not be restricting the messages. But I know a lot of you wouldn't have heard about that. So I just wanted to bring it up into your consciousness to let you guys know. So please head over to my Rumble channel, which is Lucy Davis 2222. I'm crap at uploading on there. I'm going to be really honest. I upload a few you know, videos, and then I go off to, you know, YouTube is fine. And then so I'm going to upload everything that I do now on Rumble so that you can get that. And then all I'm going to do is maybe through my stories on Instagram and Facebook, and through a little snippet, I will post it on YouTube. But we're going to have to redirect everything to Rumble, because I don't want this channel to be taken by these bastards. Excuse my language, but it's the truth. So I thought I'd share a little bit of scandal with you this week, ladies and gents, so that you can, you know, I haven't forgotten about this. I don't want to not be doing this. I'm not a fan of BitChute, by the way. BitChute is a platform whereby it takes hours to upload a video. So I just can't be bothered with it. You know, I hate to be rude, but I've got better things to do with my time than sit there for hours and then upload a video. So BitChute doesn't work for me. I'm all about efficiency, ladies and gents. If you hadn't noticed, you know, I want to get you there. I want to get you healed. I want to get you moving through very quickly. And talking of that, oh my goodness, it has been going off about Soul School 3. I mentioned it last week, and I'm going to mention it again, because for those of you who cannot afford to come to Soul School 3 in Birmingham, we are now offering free tickets. You have to email into support to basically say why it is that you can't afford it and what you would like to get from the day. And then we are going to be awarding a number of tickets to people that we feel are really going to benefit from having that experience. Now, I do this with every program that I run, every seminar that I do, whether it's in person, online, whatever, every single time I give free tickets away. And this is going to be no different. It is always going to be the same. Yeah, amazing. I'm coming to America. Literally, the amount of people that are messaging me about going to America at the moment, I'm like, okay, I'm coming. I did actually think about doing it towards the end of this year, but no, I'll do it next year because I need a holiday. I literally need a holiday. So in answer to the question that's just been posed on Facebook from Jax, is there a virtual way to watch? We're currently going through a discussion at the moment whether we live stream or whether we're going to package it up afterwards. And literally, so maybe a week after the event, we'll be able to package it up and let you guys see it broken down into beautiful little bite-sized chunks, and just basically the way it's going to go. There will be nothing cut from it. You know, it will literally just be the actual day broken down into bite-sized chunks of a video. Otherwise, it's going to be quite a lot of heavy watching if it's just one 6-hour video or 7-hour video, because I do go on a little bit, I'll be honest with you. So as soon as we've got that agreed, whether it's going to be a streamline or something that is going to be offered, buy a ticket and then offer it afterwards, or the other way around, then I'll let you guys know. But I will post it. I'm crap at posting on Facebook, like genuinely. So I need to remember that. But Soul School is such a massive event. It's such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful activation of the soul. And that's what we are, I'm going to be talking about today, interestingly enough, very much about the awakening journey. Yeah, no worries. What I tend to do, Jax, or what I've done before, is sell a ticket and then we send everybody a recording afterwards. So if for any reason they can't make it, they can watch it on recording. I just don't know if we're going to do it slightly different this time. So I'm waiting to catch up with my team. Monday's not a good day for me to do that. So I'll be doing that either tomorrow or Wednesday, and then I can let you guys know from there. Okay. But we do try to cover so that everybody can get involved in one way, shape or form. We know that there's people that can't travel. We know that there's people that, are in completely different countries and they want to be a part of it. So, we'll do the best we can, and I'll get the message to you as quickly as possible, as always, ladies and gents. So I've written some notes tonight, and because I'm going to be speaking about the awakening journey, and it's because I was channeling earlier today and I needed to get it all out of my system. I haven't always been the way that I am now, ladies and gents, okay? And I think it's often very, very profound and very giving, and it helps people on their journey when you can bring it back to somebody or something. Now, I know you guys watch me week in, week out, and I know some of us have really great relationships and we know who each other is. Even if I don't know what any of you guys look like, I recognize the names and we have a chat and all the rest of it. So, what I want to do tonight is, as much as I'm going to talk about the awakening journey, what that feels like, how that could be showing up for you, I'm also going to weave in my story, because I think that that's very, very, very profound. So, like I say, I have not always been a spiritual mentor. Never. Like, I wasn't. I used to work on the trading floor for investment banks, tucked right in the belly of the beast, right in the belly of the beast of the financial systems. And Kaylee, I'm really excited for you. Looking forward to seeing you. I had no idea. I was quite ignorant. Was I ignorant? No, I don't think so. I got caught up in the world of material, ladies and gents, big time. When I was a child, I used to love astrology. Like, it just resonated with me. I used to love fairies and, all the kind of things that little girls love, mermaids. I love to believe that all of this mysticism actually was there, that it was actually there at our fingertips, and it did actually exist. But let me know if this resonates with you by hitting the thumbs up on YouTube, or the love heart, or the thumb up on Facebook, or please comment in the chat box. Like, we get it beaten out of us, don't we? Like, we're blissfully living our life and having, all of these experiences, and we just get it beaten out of us. Like, that joy, that love, that innocence just gets beaten out of us over the time. And then it comes to a point whereby we actually forget. Now, my book, From Head to Heart, is an amazing example of this, ladies and gents. Like, literally, if you haven't read my story, it's quite profound. I remember being a 10-year-old and I was sitting this thing called the 11 plus. So for those of you that do not live in the United Kingdom, basically at 11 years of age, they basically put you in a grammar school or just a normal school. A grammar school is, for those who are perhaps slightly more intelligent than the others, there's a bit of a hierarchy with this, yeah? So I was basically sat doing the exam to go to the grammar school, and this 10-year-old boy collapsed and started having an epileptic fit. And until this point, I'd been full of lust, and I'd been full of joy, and I'd been full of hope, and I'd been full of, just everything, vigor, and, this life force was running through me. And I saw this boy having what I now know to be a fit, but I thought he was dying. Like, literally, I thought he was dying. Boom. Everything changed for me in that moment. Everything changed for me in that moment. I went to a grammar school too, and trust me, I was the biggest rebel you could imagine. But for me, as soon as I saw this boy, I thought dying, life became serious. It was like, whoop, that's it. All of my connection disappeared. All of my mum, I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to change the world, stopped overnight. Because I had this trauma of seeing this young boy who was in the same year as me and in the same school as me, what I perceived to be dying. And this is what happens to all of us, or 99% of us. There's only very few people that I've ever met that have always been spiritually awake. When I speak to people, it's always like, oh my God, yeah, I woke up because of this, or I woke up because of that. Now, I believe that there is waves of ascension. There is waves of the awakening journey. Okay. I do not believe the world could cope with everybody coming online at the same point. Now, obviously, when we had COVID a few years ago, there was a massive wave of awakening, but it still didn't get everybody awake. Like, I woke up, or what I say, my awakening journey started in 2013, June 2013, my awakening journey started. Now, I truly believe that we all have different agreements before we incarnate in this lifetime into this physical vessel as to why and how we're going to wake up. So let's say, for example, Lizzie, she was, doing her thing. She was distracted. She was getting involved in all this stuff. And Source was like, oh God, here she goes. She's going right off track. So boom, we need to create something extremely abusive for Lizzie, for her to get her awakening call, for her to remember what she incarnated to do. So Lizzie may have chosen her ignition point, her remembrance coming online from abuse. Mine personally was death and my health being stripped from me. So most people's awakening journeys start because they have an impactful situation. Maybe they have a car accident. Maybe they have somebody in the family that they care about die. Maybe a relationship all of a sudden ends. And it's like this first bit that comes online. And then if you start to drift back off again, there's a second thing that kicks in. And mine was my health. My health had been dire for about 20 years, like 20 years before I actually went on my awakening journey. I had issues with the womb. I've explained this before. I have to be careful because YouTube might ban it. I had issues with the womb. I had issue with my digestion. I had issues with my skin, with all the itis bugs that I used to have, tonsillitis, laryngitis, bronchitis, you name it, it was all going on. But I had just put up with it. Now, why would anybody put up with all those health issues? Because we'd normalized it. We normalized it. And so what does Source, what does the universe, what does God do if you're missing the memos? It keeps throwing more and more at you. And actually, this is a massive shift which is taking place on the planet at the moment. Like, there's a level of impatience coming from, I'm pointing up because that's what I call Source up there, outside in the cosmos. That's what I'm referring to. And there is a level of impatience up there with us now, I believe. There are so many of us that are stuck in loops and we're just reliving the same shit, different day, same shit, different day. And then we're going victim mode. Then we're going, oh, why is this happening to me? And we're literally just living in that loop because we're not recognizing that this is the ignition for us to properly awaken. The reason I actually chose to do this video today was I saw a lot of people on Facebook in the last week putting other people down. Oh, I can't believe these people are so stupid. They've gone back to the way they were. I can't believe how many supposed awake people. And I just was like, right, how can I create consciousness on this subject without being divisional, which is what these people were doing on Facebook. It's extremely important that we recognize it's not up for us to suggest or to, control or to judge what other people are doing. You know, we've all chosen our own reasons to wake up, to actually go on our awakening journey. And I'm talking like a spiritual awakening for those people that like that word. I'm not really a fan of it. But, you know, this is about something inside of us going, there's more to life than this. So what tends to happen as part of the awakening journey is we get this memo, and then let me know in the chat box if this resonates with you, or send me loads of laughing faces or whatever if this does. Because what happens is we wake up a bit and we get all this stuff and we start to see things for what they are. And then all of a sudden we become complacent and we go back off, don't we? We go back off. Now, I did exactly that. My granddad died. Then I realized that my health was absolutely killing me. Then I went off and I got all of these gifts, and the clarity and the colors and the awesomeness of the world started to present itself to me, and I started healing my physical vessel, and I was feeling better than ever, and I got this deep appreciation of my purpose. I got this inner knowing, I got this intuition coming online, I've got all this stuff happening, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then I had to go back to earning money. So I went back to the corporate world in 2015 after taking 14 months off to travel the world and go to all these magical places and get all of these magical gifts. And in 2016, I had become complacent. I was earning a lot of money a day, a lot of money a day, contracting for UBS Investment Bank. I was, doing all right. I would start early, but I would finish on time, I'd finish about 5:30, which was unheard of working in the investment banking world, but I'd come back with boundaries. So I was earning all this money, living the life that I wanted to. I was fighting professional Muay Thai still. So I was training every night. I was running every lunchtime. I had it made. So what do you think the universe did? What do you think Source did at this point? Oh, here she goes again. She's forgotten the memo. She's got distracted. She's liking the money again. She's got caught up in the world that she was living in before. And although I was humble and I wasn't drinking alcohol and I wasn't taking drugs and I'd shifted my whole life and my health was booming, like literally I was this little pocket rocket full of energy. Some things haven't changed. I was thriving off the back of the nutrients I was pumping in my body and things like that. Like I'd really got connected to what I was doing from a health perspective. But I got complacent. I'd got back into the cycle of earning money. I'd got back into the cycle of just doing the thing. So what happened? Slap from Source. In November 2016, no, I didn't meet David. No. In November 2016, my best friend died. He went away to France for a boys' night away, called me up, telling me how much he loved me and telling me how he missed me and he was going to come back and he was going to be back at midnight, and would I go and meet him at the train station because he wanted me to go and party. You're boring these days, Lucy. You don't party like you used to party. Because I didn't. And that phone call at 3:30 in the afternoon that we had was the last phone call he ever took on WhatsApp. The last words I said to that man was, I love you, bestie. And he said to me, I love you. I can't wait to get on the crazy train with you again, because that was our thing. We always used to talk about the crazy train. And the irony of him always talking about the crazy train, it was when he was walking back to the Eurostar that he fell to his death. Tragic accident. So what do you think happened? Thank you for the humbling, Source. Didn't really realize that I actually needed that humbling, but I did. So I thank my best friend every freaking day that he took it for the team. He sacrificed himself so that I could get the memo. Maybe he was going off on the wrong path this lifetime. Maybe he wasn't going to be able to satisfy what he needed to. Maybe his death had to happen so that I got the memo, so that other people got the memo. Like, so I'm so grateful to him every single day. And this is why I say it was about death and it's about health for me, because it's that combination of the two things, losing people I loved more than life itself. And trust me, he died on my dad's birthday and he was buried on my mum's birthday. It's hideous. 3 weeks' time is his anniversary. God, it sucked. And I went into victim mode. And I partied and I sabotaged myself. So I stepped further back into the lower vibrations. I'm sending you so much love, Helena, if this is resonant for now. I stepped back into the lower vibrations. I isolated myself. I literally got on a plane and flew to Thailand. Once he was cremated, I literally got on a plane and flew to Thailand. And I isolated myself. And once again, Thailand's my spiritual home. Like, if any of you haven't read my book, like, oh God, Thailand is my spiritual home. So in that moment of isolation, in that moment of asking much deeper questions, asking, to see things much more clearly, it felt like I was reborn, which sounds so selfish considering my best friend wasn't there to be reborn. He wasn't around anymore, but here I am being grateful that I can be reborn. Now, in this moment, ladies and gents, when you get to this point of your awakening journey, it feels like everything, like it's never going to end. It feels as if everybody's lied to you. It feels like you are being beaten and whipped and abused and all of these horrible things taking place. And then all of a sudden we start to see more clearly and we start to see different levels of consciousness. And that's what happened in that moment for me. All of a sudden, I started to see the gratitude for this person that came into my life and gave me 10, 15 years of absolute heaven. We had such a laugh. Like, he was my bestie. And you question your sanity in these moments. Well, why am I happy? Why am I feeling grateful? Why am I just, able to experience this, yet he's not here anymore? I questioned my sanity. I questioned myself. I felt guilty. But it was in that moment in December 2016, stepping into January 2017, I made some decisions that would change the course of my life forever. And literally, I remember the day I was sat up at a rooftop bar. I had my legs straddled over a sun lounger, and I made a very clear statement to one of my girlfriends at the time. And I said, this is what I'm doing. And I said, by this time next year, my life is going to be very different. Within 9 months, I'd left corporate. I've never been back. I promised myself I would never get complacent again because I didn't want to have to suffer at the hands of another death for me to get another ignition. Now, as soon as I made that choice, sat on that sun lounger this day, and you guys tell me if this is resonant with your awakening journey or what people are going through at the moment, all of a sudden you had heightened awareness. You could see things differently. It was almost like you were in the movie, The Avatar, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, it's really quite beautiful out there. The colors are really much brighter than I ever remember them to be. All of a sudden, you start seeing miracles. You have emotions, like much more intense emotions than you have ever recognized in your life. You come face to face with your ego. You recognize that your ego is one heck of a control freak. You realize that in these moments, everything that you've been trying to suppress, everything that you have been trying to avoid, you have to come face to face with. And you stop holding yourself back from feeling those emotions, because you realize the whole reason you are where you are is because you've suppressed things. You've been the tough female, you've been the tough male. And you get the memo that the more you release, the closer you come back to being yourself. The closer you become to being your authentic version. It's in these moments of awakening that we question the meaning of life. I've had maybe 20 people reach out to me in the last month and say, I know there's a higher meaning of life. I know there's a higher power. Explain it to me, Lucy. It doesn't make sense to me. And these are people that 3 years ago probably took this and made those kind of decisions. And all of a sudden they're going like, I know that there is something happening. All of a sudden we start getting super profound insights. All of a sudden we have clarity. We see connections between everything. We realize why we had to meet certain people and we had to connect those relationships so that we could absolutely come together as one. All of a sudden we go, oh my God, maybe it wasn't that person I was supposed to meet. It was the people that we were supposed to meet further down the line, but it was that person that brought us here. Now, I say this quite regularly, but I'm not sure if I say it often on YouTube or Facebook. Definitely not on Facebook. I have one of my best friends who has spent a lot more time with me over recent months. Obviously, since I went through the trauma of the miscarriage and things like that, she's been amazing. She's literally been stuck to me like glue, which is why I've had to run away. No, I'm joking. If she watches this back, basically, she gets it. Like, she gets it. She knows the way it works. She gets consciousness. She gets manifestation. She gets all of that. But she's like, every single person on the planet needs to spend a day with you, Lucy, because the way that you work, the signs, the synchronicities you get, like, it's not what normal people experience. Like, it's constant. It's not like a couple of things a day. It's everything. If I ask for a sign, it comes. And I don't mean if I ask it outwardly, sometimes I do, but literally, funny story, little tangent. I have basically picked 2 locations of which I may go to when I take my holiday. And I was like, okay, show me where you want me to go. Show me where you want me to go. Literally just in my head today, because I know that phones listen, you know, like I'm not daft. I know that phones listen. I opened Facebook today, which it's very rare that I go on Facebook to actually do stuff. I opened Facebook and boom, one of the locations was there, slap bang in my face, right in front of me. So I was like, I think I know where I've got to go. That's the way that it happens, but it's constant. It's constant. It's never a trip to the shop. It's never going out for lunch. Like, literally, I went out for lunch with one of my guy friends when I was back home in the UK. And literally, we decided to go to this totally random place. And I turn up there and I start laughing my head off. The place where we had chosen to go for lunch was next to a church. And it was the name of the church is the work that I'd been doing, like all of it. And I'm like, okay, right. So I haven't quite finished that work then. And I had to do a bit of energy work. It's never just a trip out for lunch. This is what I mean. Like, very few people get the extensity, which is why I do Soul School, right? Because I want all of you guys to be getting exactly that. You know, it has to be. So all of a sudden in our awakening journey, we start to recognize there's connections with everything. We didn't meet one person because they were going to be in our lives for the rest of our life. And, you know, David's probably a great example. I know somebody mentioned him earlier, but I had to meet him so that I got connections with other people. And I know those people are going to be in my life forever. Like, he actually introduced me to a guy who's now like one of my best friends. Random, random, never random. The universe has a plan, and if you don't listen, it will get other people to do things. Now, that might end up with you having your heart broken, or having a miscarriage, or having to leave a relationship, might end up like that. But it's so that you get the memo. It's so that you get divinely placed where you are. So I'm really grateful. I'm so grateful to that man on so many levels. Don't want to be in a relationship with him, but I'm grateful to him on so many levels, like so many levels. My life has changed in so many ways. I've met some of the most incredible people because of places that I went to with him or whatever. So, I will never, ever, ever say that I'm not grateful for that. Another part of the awakening journey is around increased empathy. Now, I was the person that would literally call everybody out. If they were being a shithead, I would literally be calling them out. Now I look at them and I'm like, wow, I see where their trauma is coming from. I see where their trauma is coming from. And I have empathy. Doesn't mean I don't have boundaries, but I can feel what other people feel. And it's not weak. Now, a lot of people say to me, oh, yeah, but Lucy, I'm an empath. Yeah, but I'm an empath. I'm probably one of the most empathic people on the planet. I just have really good boundaries. I feel everything. I actually did an Instagram live this morning. This is hilarious. This is hilarious, right? This is how my life works. So I was doing an Instagram live this morning, and a few people on the chat are going, Lucy, there's a weird man behind you. Please be careful. There's a weird man behind you. Now, the guy that I was talking about, who's become a very good friend of mine, he was behind me videoing me. He didn't want to interrupt what I was doing, but he was behind me videoing me. And I just went, nah, guys, if I felt threatened, I'd turn around. But you know what? It's playful energy that I feel behind me. It was my mate. He was trying to get in my video. I haven't watched it back yet because it's my busiest day, but I will do. He was trying to get in my video. This is the way the universe works. It's constantly placing people exactly where it needs to, for you to have fun, for you to, enjoy the journey. And this is the most beautiful part of it. This is the bit that most of us don't realize, most of us don't recognize. And it's often that those things happen with me and him. We can be anywhere, and all of a sudden we'll just bump into each other and it'll be like, oh, this is cool. This is really nice. You can be an empath. And you can allow yourself to have really good boundaries. And I recommend it. We don't want the world to be tough. We want the world to be able to come together and feel what each other's feeling, because we are actually much more aligned in that way. I want all of our hearts, and you guys that are coming to Soul School, you'll know what it feels like when we join hundreds of hearts together, and the power that can be created. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's not weak, it's strength to be able to feel and to have empathy. The only people that will never get empathy are narcissists, ladies and gents. Okay, they're the only people that will never get it. Inner peace. A massive part of my awakening journey has been running away from people. Believe it or not, it has. Making choices to get away from the drama. And that's why I had to walk away from my last relationship. There was too much drama, way too much drama. And I just couldn't deal with it. It actually created physical reactions within my body, and I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. So I had to make the choice, and I had to pack my things, and I had to leave. And that's exactly what I did. Of course, that created a lot more drama, but now I just don't listen to it. I don't deal with it. There's still drama going on, of course. I just don't get involved in it. I let them do it. Your soul craves stillness, which is why the awakening journey is so profound, and it feels like you are so lonely. It feels like you're stripped naked and bare at certain points. Genuinely. Your soul needs stillness. Your soul wants an activation. Your soul wants reminding of its purpose. And yes, that's what I do at Soul School. But way before I did that at Soul School, I took myself off. If you think back to what I said earlier, I had a serious like physical thing. I had a health thing go on, right? And then what happened was I ran away for 14 months and I isolated myself, not knowing that this was all part of my awakening journey. This was about me bringing myself online. I craved stillness. I craved being away from the drama of the investment banking industry. I craved being away from the fast paced and the commute and everything else that goes along with working in London. I'm not going to say you're wrong, Jax. I don't know what you sensed, but I'm not going to say you were wrong. Trust me. Yeah, you're probably very right, my friend. Probably very right. Ego. Again, if somebody's not willing to look at themselves, if they're not willing to look at themselves and look at their ego and look at their trauma responses, that's not going to help you on your journey. Now, I am somebody who did this work a very long time ago, but my clients will tell you I do it every single day. I check myself. I'm like, whoa, why is this going on? I cannot be complacent with this stuff because my ego kept me safe for a very long time. And there are people out there that pretend to be all this and that, and they're talking absolute shit. They've never bothered to look at their ego. I could say so much to that comment, Jackie, but I'm not going to say anything. It's just my naughty little Lucy rebel wanting to speak up, but I'm not going to. You crave to be around genuine people. You crave to be around genuine people. Listen, I just want to touch on something that Jax has just put here, right? We're all going to fuck up. Okay, we're all going to fuck up, right? I fucked up. You guys saw me royally fuck up publicly, yeah? It's how you deal with it. It's how you step out of it. It's how you walk away from it. It's how quickly you can get yourself back on track. Do not ever think that you're not going to fuck up. Please don't ever think that you're not going to mess up. We are living the human experience right now, ladies and gents. We have free will. Sometimes we think that, everything that we are looking for is showing up in a particular package, and it's not. But don't judge yourself for that. I have learned, like, my whole life, everything that I practice, my whole soul school, my self-love program, my self-love mastery program, every single course that I've ever designed is based on my fuck-ups and how I got myself through them. There are a lot of people out there that have ego delusion. They feel that they have done the work and they've done nothing. They believe that material and followers and numbers and things like that is what's going to get them through. Those people are going to have such a tough journey over the coming weeks. It's how quickly you deal with the experience that you're going through. And trust me, it was hard with all the pregnancy hormones still running through me and wreaking havoc, but I still packed my things and I left because I knew that I had to go and the baby was not there anymore. So I had no reason to stay. The baby was completely the wrong reason to stay. I get that now, but we live and we learn. We live and we learn and we go through everything that we do. We must recognize our ego controls us. Our ego tells us, especially if we've got people telling us that we're not good enough, like our parents in relationships and things like that, or you're not going to find anyone else. Nobody's going to put up with you. These kind of things, obviously that's your ego then that goes, well, what if that person's right? Jax, honestly, when the time is right, you will put everything into practice. Trust me, I really believe this wholeheartedly. So our intuition, our inner compass, when we're going through the awakening journey, and you guys let me know in the chat, right? You guys let me know in the chat. How many of you have gone, how the hell do I know that? I don't know how I know that, but I know that. That's your intuition coming online. My biggest gift right, is intuition. And I know that. Like, I've got some mad gifts. I can see spirit, hear spirit, talk to spirit, channel like an absolute boss. Like, I've got all these weird and wonderful gifts that I do. But my strongest gift is intuition. I literally have this inner dial that knows exactly where I'm going and exactly what I'm doing. Like, we had no GPS, no data, nothing in Israel. And I knew exactly what I was doing and where I was going because I'd been there before. And I don't mean I'd been there before physically in this lifetime as Lucy Davis. No, I've lived there in a previous, or I've been in that area of the world. I don't think it was called Israel at the time. Just a little clue in there. I don't think it is still anyway, but that's my own little throw it into the mix. I literally have been there in a past life because I knew exactly where I was going and what I was doing. Now, your rational mind will never get it. I remember my friend that was with me in Israel, she was like, Lucy, why don't we just go back the way? And I said, no, trust me, I've been here before. We've done this before. We have to go down this cobbled path. And she was like, oh, for God's sake, because she's not much of a walker. I like to walk. She doesn't. She was like, oh, come on, Lucy, do we have to do this? And I got us exactly where we needed to go. And she was like, fuck, I don't know why I ever question you. Like, literally, I don't know why I ever question you, because it always ends up working out. There's no such thing as coincidences, ladies and gents. There's no such thing as coincidences. Like, there's meaningful coincidences just to remind you that you're on track. It's almost like the universe goes, cheeky little wink to say, keep on going. Signs, synchronicities. Yeah, everything starts to really come online. And like I was saying earlier, it's just wild. If I ever need validation, and I don't even know that I need validation, boom, it comes in. On your awakening journey, like, I had to run to the jungle. I ran to the Amazon jungle. I ran to the Thai jungle. I ran to the mountains in Australia. I ran to the mountains in Guatemala. I literally ran off absolutely everywhere to get really entrenched in nature. I went diving in the ocean. I went snorkeling in the ocean. I went to the Galapagos, you name it. I went absolutely everywhere because I needed to be back in the natural world. So this is, again, part of the awakening journey. You want to return to your roots. You want to return to what feels like home. How many of you have sought knowledge on your awakening journey? You've gone out and you've looked for spiritual teachers, or you've attended seminars like Soul School, or you've come on a program like Self-Love Club membership. You're like hungry to unlock doors of understanding. Lizzie, remind me of that at the end, because yes, I do know exactly why that was. You're going to be blown away. Honestly, everyone's blown away when I talk about that little story. You want informed choices. Deborah, it sounds like you need to be on my conscious conversations, my love, talking about dragons and mermaids. Honestly, it's absolutely brilliant. I've been activating dragons all over the world this year, particularly. So yeah, really, really, really interesting. I talk about that in conscious conversations because probably people would think I'd need to be sectioned if I spoke about this outwardly. I've had some beautiful comments from somebody from my past, basically about me talking about all the work that I do, even though they loved my work at one point, saying that I was crazy and that I really needed mental stability because obviously I do all of this work. So, but once upon a time they were very, very engaged in my work. But you know what? It is what it is. Another part of the awakening journey is about detoxifying relationships. You literally just strip away people that no longer align to you and no longer resonate with you. And very quickly you're like, oh, energy vampire. Oh, this person's a drain. Oh, can't be near that person. And this is what happens. We choose to uplift and nurture our souls. Like, sometimes you're with someone and they talk too much and you're like, oh my God, please just stop. Please just stop. Very, very, very important. Very, very, very important. Another really beautiful part of the spiritual awakening journey is about being in the present moment. You're not bothered about the past. You're not bothered about the future. Everything fades and it's just this now moment that matters. You feel connected. You feel so interested in just being in the now moment that you're in. You're not worried about anything else. Conversations seem shallow, you know? Now, what's really interesting is obviously there isn't this constant intensity like when we go through the awakening process. What happens is, like I said earlier, we get complacent and then all of a sudden, boom, we get another awakening journey because we get complacent. Very, very, very important. It's very easy to ignore the subtle whispers from our soul, ignore the subtle whispers from the universe. You know, it really, really is. I hope that's helped with a little bit of the awakening journey. You know, I hope that that's helped a little bit because it's fascinating. I mean, I could go on and I could go on and I could go on about this for hours because I love this. And if this stuff is like, oh my God, this is resonant. Oh my God, I need to get connected to my passions, my purpose. Get your butts to Soul School. Like literally, the tickets are 55 quid. They're so cheap. It's in Birmingham. It starts at 11 o'clock in the morning, so you guys don't even need to have a hotel overnight stay or anything like that. Genuinely, you can get your butts along there and we will have such a powerful, powerful, powerful day of shifting and activating the soul. And I'm going to do a heart activation during this Soul School as well, because so many people have closed their hearts down, got into toxic relationships or situationships and things like that. So it's really about activating the heart and bringing it back online so that we can charge forwards. So I'm just going to answer what Lizzie put in the chat. So Lizzie put, do you remember when you were talking about the desert, Morocco, you kept calling it the jungle? Did you ever realize why that was? Yes, I did. And yes, I do. So what's fascinating is I got really told off because I kept calling it the jungle. Like it just kept slipping out of my mouth. And there's never anything that slips out of my mouth that isn't a channeled message, right? So I'm like, oh, I don't know why I'm doing this. Anyway, way back when the Sahara was a jungle. And I remembered that, which is why I kept going back to it. And the night before I actually had to get shipped out because there was a threat on my life, I actually went to a very, very profound place there, which I was told very, very clearly was the Garden of Eden. I channeled that it was going to be the Garden of Eden. I had to get in this 4x4, and this local man, like one of the guys that lives out in the desert, he literally drove me for about an hour to this place. And my guides kept saying, you're being taken to the Garden of Eden. And literally this woman just come up to me and she said, I don't know why I need to tell you, you've got to come with me, I've got to take you somewhere. And boom, it just dropped in that I was going to the Garden of Eden. And I just remembered, like, all of a sudden I was remembering the fact that this was a jungle and it wasn't desert at all. So really quite profound. Absolutely quite profound. So interesting that you said that. If you basically, it is, I'm not giving the location because obviously I have threats on my life quite frequently, so I'm not giving the exact location till a few days before. But if you email to support@lucydavis.com, they will tell you the hotels and how far away they are from the venue. So we're doing that. When people buy tickets, an email goes out and it tells them. We're sending that email out a couple of times a week. But if you haven't bought a ticket and you want to book the hotel first or whatever, just email support@lucydavis.com and we will give you a list of the hotels to book and the distance. But they're all like a mile or 1.1 mile or something like that away. So they're all relatively close. Okay. Right. I'm glad you believe in the mysterious world. Like, genuinely, my life is mysticism caught on camera. That's all I can say. My life is literal mysticism. People cannot believe the things that I have gone through, the experiences that I have. You know, this is why people have wanted to film me and all the rest of it. It is absolute magic what goes on in my life. And I'm safe at the moment. Deborah, thank you for your concerns. I am back on the road this week. So this is why I go stealth, guys, you know, and I know people think that I'm extremely dramatic and all the rest of it, but I've had 3 attempts on my life in the last 12 months. So I have to be very careful, because there's people and things that don't want me to do the work that I do, for whatever reason, you know, like I'm doing the work of source. I'm doing the work of the light. And yeah, I've had three attempts, which is why when people say to me, oh, you're here, oh, you're there, I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you yes or no, because I literally have to go underground. And I just, yeah, ninja. I'm a ninja. I am a trained ninja as well at that. But yeah, it's, don't feel sad for me. Honestly, it's amazing what I get to do. And I know that I am so protected. And I know that, you know, they've got my back when I go on these missions and when I go off and do this stuff, you know. And I've been to some of the most profound places, and, you know, I keep in touch with people, and people know that I am okay. So, you know, that's, you guys don't need to worry about that. I don't say it so that I'm getting dramatics, because it's just not necessary. I just do what I have to do. I do what I have to do. And unfortunately, there are bastards, swearing a lot tonight, aren't I? There are bastards that show up in human skin suits that are trying to take me down. But thankfully, I recognise them very quickly these days, and I get away from them before they manage to do what they do. But yeah, there's been 3 circumstances which have been in the last 12 months. So, you know, all of these will be in the 3rd book when the 3rd book comes out. The 3rd book's juicy as heck. The 3rd book, you're going to read the 2nd book and be like, oh my God, this is so amazing. This is so enlightening. This is so empowering. This is so beautiful. And then the 3rd book, you're going to be like, wow, this is just wow. Honestly. And like I say, ladies and gents, I love the fact that you've all got my back, and I do feel it energetically when I'm away. There's only been one time where literally nobody's been able to know where I am because of a threat on my life. I had to go literally underground for about 3 weeks. And again, this is the stuff that I talk about in Conscious Conversations. I am extremely, extremely open in there because I can be. You know, I can be extremely open and I can share everything because I just know my community is just the most precious, precious, precious space ever. So the 2nd book is in writing. The Skinwalkers. I like that, Martin. I like that. I might come to you when book 3 is ready and be like, so what was that name you said again? Book 2 will be out. I don't know. It's in writing at the moment. And book 3, I'm actually writing at the same time because I'm going through a lot of the emotions and a lot of the stuff. And I don't want to forget the emotions, because this period of time has been the most profound from like I've experienced things in the last 6 months that you just would not be able to, you can't comprehend. So when it actually comes out in the book, and you guys are like, shit, I remember her doing videos and I remember her doing this, and she had all that shit going on behind closed doors. Like, you guys are going to be like, wow. So it's been really profound for me to be writing it as I'm going along. It's been a really, really, really beautiful experience. I just love my life, guys. You know, I feel so incredibly lucky. So yeah, you know, I know you guys have got my back. I know that I've got my back. I know that I've got a beautiful army of people that work with me that have got my back as well. And yes, I'm going to set up, it's actually going to be an introductory agency rather than a dating app, Martin Draper. I promise you, I'm on it. Honestly, me and one of my best friends, we're on it. We've got the questions. We're trialing the questions on people, like, genuinely. So watch this space, my friend. I promise you, you're not all going to be single forever. I promise. There's some really great people out there. Oh God, don't get Lizzie started on this bloody dating app. She won't leave it. She won't leave it out now. Right. For those of you who are coming to Conscious Conversations, I will see you in 52 minutes. Thank you to everyone on YouTube. Thank you to everyone on Facebook. I love you. I love you. I love you to the moon and stars. I'll be back with you next week, but I'm going to be on the road. All right, guys. I love you loads. I'll catch you super soon. Take care. Have the most beautiful, beautiful week, and I'll catch you super soon. Lots of love, guys. Take care.